Hello Sounders, it's Mick croaking at you after Charlton. How are you feeling? I know how you're feeling. Good, that's how. Last minute goals that win Pompey a game are always joyous moments. They're rare, of course. But it's not the rarity, it's the release after 90 plus minutes of all that tension. The endorphin flood of that makes you shout, yes, yes, until there's no breath left in your body as you seek to engage everyone around you, whether you know them well or not, in a tribal celebration as old as humanity here on earth. Victory. The win is ours. Players, Pompey coaches and staff, and us, the supporters, in a lockstep of delight. And that, Sounders, is why we're feeling good. I have to say that the presence of 2,000 plus Charlton fans enhanced the experience, and there is this remarkable phone video. Many of you will have seen it, I'm sure, of the 2 minutes or so climax to the match from the Charlton point of view, from the Milton end, and it sort of sums up football. It's joy and despair in a quite visceral, remarkable way. And I commend the Charlton fan who, the video I particularly like, the Charlton fan who had the balls to post that, because it exposes mob mentality in a pretty sharp and, you might say, pretty horrible way. Charlton played poorly, yet after 90 minutes they probably felt they deserved a point from a game they'd been unable to control. And so they were overjoyed, over the moon, when they scored in that sort of 94, 95 minute mark. And they took it out on our North Stand Milton End Warriors, who absorbed the brunt of away support at FRATTON home games after home games all season. And the Charlton started to sing, and it's all seen on this video. Masses of them, crowds of them, and they were all there, they were all up, they were all standing, they were all looking at the Pompey fans in the North Stand, and they were all singing "We Never Lose" at FRATTON Park. And as the V signs and worse rained down, deluged from the Milton end, aimed at all of us, we, Sounders, we scored. And amid the silence of horror and depression instantaneously visited on stunned Charlton minds, one Charlton fan in this video is heard mumbling, "Oh no, 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 no." It's extraordinary. You know, you don't often hear the sounds of the vanquished, the beaten, the trodden. You don't see the detail of defeat like that. Actually, since that particular video, I've seen a few others from the Charlton end. I like the one I've described most, because all you see of that whimpering fan, the no-no fan at the end, is his fingers over the back of his head. That's all you see of him. You see a lot of other people. But that person is anonymous because it's everyone. There are others. There's another of a Charlton fan selfieing the moment in big close-up of his face. But I feel he's posted it to make himself look important. I prefer the generality, the anonymity of defeat, which we've all experienced. And it's so almost moving in the video I've described. If you aren't a Pompey fan, that is, and you're not celebrating. Moving because it's humbling, Sounders, because it shows the levels of emotion we all go through in support of our football teams. And as long as we're capable of recovery and we don't resort to hurting each other or other people, it's a wonderful thing to have and be able to express emotion. It's one of the things that makes us human. But we do have to let reality into the celebration, so I'll start to do that now by running through the harsh reality of the Charlton encounter through the performance of our lads, our team. Nicholas Schmidt, look, we know he's good. He is our number one. But I don't think he's quite back to the best he was before he got injured. He made a match-winning save in the second half. And he doesn't let in poor goals. But his distribution can still worry us. And I think worry his teammates, put them under pressure sometimes. Lifted clearances, overheads, too far, too deep, over the touchline at times. Playing out from the back when opponents are closing rapidly. Signalled maybe too obviously. It's sometimes nerve-wracking stuff. As long as we get away with it, I suppose, why should I complain? But it sometimes looks a bit stressful. I realise it's our way, the playing out way, but he used to cope with a little more time and composure. Perhaps it's simply opponents reading his and our plans more comfortably these days. I don't know. Terry Devlin. He seems almost to improve with every game. He's really coming through, I'd say, in Championship football, and a credit to those who found him and those coaching him now. Confidence is all important. He was up against Mari Bell and Tyrese Campbell, the best, it seemed to me, that Charlton had to offer, and yet he gave Terry Devlin as good as he got, and that's what he does these days. Zach Swanson is also, I think, getting the measure of the Championship and doing it, what's more, on his wrong foot, on the left-hand side. So, do we need another left-back with Conor Ogilvie intending a return in January? Well, somehow I would suggest not. I'm certain there are greater priorities anyway. And I'm now giving Swanson's obvious determination to start games. I'm giving that credence, and I'm thinking he deserves a place. Hayden Matthews is steadily getting fitter and stronger. Of that there's no doubt. And I hear the crowd now. I hear them appreciating him. His touches, his interceptions, his little forward runs. Hayden Matthews may now lose his place in the starting lineup, but I believe that central defence is now pretty well stocked at Fratton Park. certainly compared with one or two other areas of the pitch. And Matthews, if he can just start converting corners and free kicks, could make him force himself into the side. Regan Poole is full of fight. He's having a good season, I'm sure. I think it's his best spell anyway for the club. Our problems don't start at the back. Having looked at those four and what we've got to come back, I don't think they start there. They start in midfield, where I thought Marlon Pack had a good game, but there are a lot around me who question his presence in the side. He's got a lot of detractors. It's a bit unfair, I feel. I'd say he's a calming influence in midfield with the experience to spot danger, and with no one at the moment to do that as regularly and successfully, and we can rely on that. He's reliable. Andre Dezelle is not just reliable, he's irreplaceable, I think. He's having a fine season, in my humble opinion. Now, here's where the problems start to appear for me. Adrian Segic certainly hasn't maintained the edge he started the season with. His confidence has slowly, painfully been eroded. He's become smaller on the pitch, if you see what I mean, because I don't mean it literally. He's lost sight of how he used to score goals. No one should doubt his effort, and he's got no little ability, he needs to find his place in the Championship and within our club. Similarly, but in very, very different circumstances, Connor Chaplin isn't making his mark on this team or this season. We all hope it will click into fluid football and goals for him, but at the moment it's just not happening for Connor. And then there's finally the two I feel will make it, but can they affect this season is the big question. Harvey Blair has quality. We're beginning, Sounders, to see why we paid money for this kid. Much of the crowd, I noticed, I like this. I like this about our crowd. Much of the crowd like him already. There's a very Fratton Park quality about the buzz over a winger. I've had it. I've experienced it. I've listened to it many times over years and years and years, going back to Reg Cup, Peter Harris. Going back to Peter Harris, mates. Just about Peter Harris, I have to admit. But then, Reg Cutler, Peter Marinello. Peter was my friend, actually, so maybe he wasn't the most popular winger at Fratton Park, but I loved him. I can't remember any others now. I'm going off piece a bit here. So let's get back to what I was talking about, and this young man who I feel is making a little bit of a mark on the crowd already. We like wingers. This is what I was trying to get to. We like wingers at Fratton Park if they're any good. We purr over them. We get excited by their possession. We like it when they get possession of the ball. He's about there. People willing him to take an opponent on, to show to show a little magic. They feel he's got it in him. I really do think some do. And so do I. But he's got to deliver. And it may be too soon for him to do that as much, as frequently and as regularly as he's got to. It may be just too much for the moment. But it's good to see him on the park. The same sort of thing applies to Mackenzie Kirk, but he's got even further to travel, I feel. But it's great to see his pace. And he has aggression. And the beginnings of link-up play and understanding of what he's got to do to lead the line, the timing of those runs, and remaining calm in possession. It takes experiences and experience. And can he learn on the relegation avoiding job? That's a big question. But his pace and his presence out there was refreshing. I enjoyed it. The 64th minute of our game, Sounders, against Charlton was big. We were able to bring on, from an ever-improving bench, Conor Shaughnessy and Yang Min-auk. Well, that's called game-changing. The players that they replaced have by no means let us down. But these two scored goals. And what goals! Shaughnessy's was so reminiscent, wasn't it, of his Barnsley goal, which signalled promotion all that time ago. I know it wasn't quite the same towering header, but it was still a great goal. And Min-auk, wow. Look, he's not had a great time on the park lately. He's found himself out wide on the right. He's got battered and he's got a bit lost. But the boy has great qualities, and the most important is that he believes. That hasn't changed, you know. Coming to Pompey and the trials and tribulations of the Championship haven't rocked him. He believes. He believes in his footwork. He believes in his trickery. He believes in his ball striking ability. He believes he can score goals. It's not easy, but he's retained confidence. And when he made that small space just outside the area, on the edge of the area, that small space in a moment of massive crisis, he saw the possibility to thread his shot, and he took it. He took it with no worry about feeding someone else, passing on the responsibility, or manoeuvring into a still more advantageous situation. Yang shot and Yang scored. That's class from a very, very young man. Of course, there'll still be more ups and downs, more ups, I'm certain, than downs anyway. And Spurs will be happy and will be happy with Yang Min-auk. It's as loans should be, Sounders. I should just mention Mark Kosnowski, because he came on, of course, and he's still battling to make it in this league. He appeared to pick up some injury. Oh dear, not another one. This is a task which he's finding difficult, and we can only wish him good luck in coping with the strange situation that he's found himself in this season, and being able to ride above the problems, and make his mark and fulfil the potential that other people undoubtedly feel he's got, and he must feel. But it's another confidence thing. My goodness me, life is all about confidence, it seems to me. And the first appearance we have to mention of Franco Ume, which was great to see. And he even had I think some small part of his body involved in the ball ending up with Yang for that winning goal. It was good to see Franco out there on the park. It's been, and only he knows more about this than we do, it's been a long haul. So Sounders, we didn't play well, but we won. And I suggest to you, in an unforgettable way, that I feel good and you feel good. Happy New Year. Play out, Pompey.